What's good, YouTube? It's back on a beautiful day. It's a Wednesday, man. I know I'm doing this video super late. Really, I'm not. I had another video planned, but I don't know, man. The thing wouldn't upload from my Google Drive for some reason. Not quite sure, but that's neither here or there. I just want to talk about the people who wants to try to get their CDL license. The steps that you definitely need to get that. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You definitely need these things in order to get your CDL. One, you got to be 21 years old. Period. You could get your, you could be 18 to 20, but you only could drive in the interstate. Don't worry about what I'm trying to say. Basically, you only can drive the state highways. You can't cross state borders if you're between the age of 18 and 20. I'm pretty sure that. 21, you can go outside the state lines or whatever you're at. Obviously, you got to pay the fees. Big Brother want their money. Things like that. My biggest thing is you can't have a lot of tickets on your license, such as like reckless operation, anything over 15 miles per hour or up to 15 miles and over. DUI is a big one. If you got a DUI, you want to check with it and see how long ago it was. I recommend 5 years minimum. That's just what I recommend. I would say the next step, definitely you got to have a medical exam done. Okay. Now, with this medical exam, it's just making sure that your blood pressure, basically your peripheral vision, that's the stuff that you see. I might say that wrong, so, laugh at me now, but that's cool. For me, I got a big neck with a bump on it, as you can see. But if your neck is too big, you got to go for a sleep study. Some of them won't even allow you to, step in. But this is to get your CDL. This is to get your CDL. Now, when you get hired on, some companies might not care about the neck. Some medical examiners might not even care. Just depends on where you're going and stuff like that, if they're trying to get you in the door fast. Obviously, your vision, stuff like that. Now, you do need what's called a CLP, okay? A commercial learner's permit. That's the permit before. That's like basically saying like a driver's permit. You need one of those, okay? You have to have one. That's obviously that's just common. You need to have a learner's permit before that, Now you do have to take what's called a general knowledge exam. Now that's just basic stuff. It's saying like how can I say it? How you did your little road test on the computer and stuff like that before you were able to go out, you gotta get an 80. This is the same thing, but with commercial driving. Like, you gotta understand signs, all your signs. I recommend learning your signs, curves, curve signs, what's recommended speed and stuff like that, to take a ramp. Stuff. That stuff is important. Yes, like, you're not allowed to change lanes at intersections. I don't even think you can do that in cars, but people don't know that. You gotta. This next step is one of the big ones. You gotta practice your pre-trip on the semi. Before you can even take your test in a commercial vehicle, you got to know how to pre-trip a vehicle. Now, I want to say it's 108 things you need to look at. Yeah, it's like 108, I want to say. Don't let me get you in here lying saying I walk around and look at 108 things. Fuck no, I don't do that. I look at the main things that I know within my mind is something that needs to be looked at every day, and at least once a week. Okay, some things they're all required to be looked at every day, but some things are common sense. You can look at once a week. I would say main thing you need to look at every day is at least your belt. You need to get under that hood, look at your belt coolant for sure. Make sure you ain't got no cracks or leaks, man, because that could be detrimental to your drive for the day. You know, you get out here, you don't look at these, especially when it's cold right now, and your truck wasn't running all night, you need to check, period. It has to be checked. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Obviously, your lights, any type of leaks, you want to make sure your brakes have pads on them every day. Now, with the trailer, it's a little bit easier with the trailer, but the actual knowledge of the pre-trip underneath the hood, it comes with a lot. You know, it comes with, you know, you got to make sure cotter pins are in. A lot, man. It comes with a lot. Oil, you know, stuff like that. Now, after you do that, you still can't even get to the road test yet. You got to take an exam on maneuvering a truck. Now, some of them is a straight line back where you pull forward and then you take the truck and you back it up straight backwards. Okay, straight back. Now, that's super easy. It's not too bad. The next step after that is what's called an ollie dock. Some people call it ollie, some people offset, whatever you want to call it. It's where you pulling forward, but then you're taking a trailer and putting it over one spot, basically. And it just requires you to maneuver the front part of the truck to put the trailer inside the cones and stuff like that. That's not too hard. The toughest one, I could say, is parallel park. Parallel parking gets hard with a semi, you know. It's not the easiest maneuver in the world to get it in there, you know. You only allow so many pull-ups throughout the whole test, which I think is 3. I think you only can allow to get out of your truck 3 times before they start docking you, I think. I'm not quite sure. You know, the things has changed. Things has changed. As well, man. A big one, a lot of people I've seen when I took my CDLs failed was they got out the truck without asking the examiner to do it. Okay? Got out. And that'll automatically fail you in a heartbeat. Okay? And once you do that, it's an automatic fail. Okay? Now, I forgot a step. There's something that you have to do. I know I'm shaking with my camera and stuff like that. But another thing that you would have to do is what's called it's an air brake test, where you got to make sure it's a certain verbiage, you know, that you have to do, might I say, to the instructor about doing the brake test. It's basically pat your brakes all the way down until they get to 60 psi. Hold it. Make sure it doesn't drop more than 4 psi. Make sure you ain't got no leaks or nothing like that. But that's not too hard. You know, if you study for your pre-trip and stuff, I mean your exams, you will know all that. You know, and then it's your road test. You can't. You can't. There's a lot of stuff you can miss, man. Wide left turns, making sure you turning. No, oh, you hit a curb, it's over. Period. You hit one curb, when you make a right turn, it's over. You might as well just don't even. Yeah. Tandems on the curb, yeah, it's over. I don't even think you're allowed to do button hooks either. Button hook turn, yeah, that shit's over too. But you got to make sure you turn, you know, right to right, left to left, or right to the first lane, left to the inside lane. You know, if you're making left-hand turns, some like, you know, things of that nature. But this is just for, you know, the people who once they get their CDL, you know, if you could get to this step, man, you're in the money, man. It's nothing but the sky from here, you know, once you meet those requirements and you want to get into the, you know, you got to think, man. Put it like this. Freight right now as we sit, as of 2019, was $670 billion last year. That's how much freight was moved last year, paying out to drivers or companies. 670 billion. Bill with a B, my guy, with a B. It's like 2 to 3 more years until they hit $1 trillion industry. Okay, you just gotta get out here and get a piece of yours. You know what I mean? But this is just for the people who wants to get in here. Learn how to get their license and things of that nature. And I had another whole nother video planned, but like I said, well, basically, my app didn't work to get the video. I wasn't pulling stuff off my Google stuff. So, if you want, remember, you don't have to get a Class A either. You can get a Class B, you can get a Class C. If you want, you can get endorsements, doubles, doubles and triples is one. You can get tanker, hazmat, specialized. You could get, a lot of endorsements. It's a lot of endorsements. Let me just read you a few of them. I don't know what this H endorsement is. The H endorsement is required to operate a vehicle that contains hazardous material. N endorsement is the endorsement operate a tanker vehicle. P is for passenger. I know that. S endorsement is for school buses. T is for for doubles and triples, and X is for hazmat tanker vehicles. Now, it's a lot more. Obviously, it's N, M, L, E. It's a lot more endorsements, but I ain't got time. Can't go through all that. It's a lot. But outside of that, man, if you're really looking into getting into it, just hit me up on Facebook. I help you through that shit, man. I can help you with the driving. The pre-trip I can help you with. I can find ways to get you the full pre-trip exam, and we can go through that, man. Super easy. You just gotta take your time with it. But outside of that, man, I'm going to clock it out, man. I gotta go to this meeting here in a little bit, and y'all be easy out there. Stay safe, man.